Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Layback Gamer, and we're back with another video. I'm not sure what it is, but it is bound to be, hopefully, a very exciting one. So yeah, we're back. And, well, you read the title, so you know exactly what we're going to be doing. So, if you like the video, leave a like. Maybe even consider subscribing if you really like the video. Ooh, that'd be very nice if you did. And, well, yeah, so go on, grab some food and a beverage, maybe not one that's that fancy, sit back, and enjoy the show.
Alright, there we go. Look at us, we just melted his health. I will take... Ooh, thank you for that. Lots of Herlock corpses down there to loot. Behind us? Nope.
Let's get started.
That's great. Oh, that's a lot of them. Let's see here. Get a group heal, please. Everyone, drink. Sus, back to back, buddy. We can take these guys on. Alright. Maybe not. Oh, drink. Get our cold weapons going again. You're dead now. Great. Hold the belt. Thanks, Wayne.
That was interesting and draining.
Did you summon the spirit?
I called forth the spirit that sustains me so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little.
Oh, okay, that's how this works. Okay. You could kill it doing this?
Well, that's certainly conceivable. I suppose I shouldn't be using that particular trick to entertain children at parties.
Are you able to control it?
It's not a demon that requires controlling. Really, you need not fear it. I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I was not expecting to encounter that. I must have gotten the order of when those events would happen reversed. On accident. But nevertheless, well, we're slowly working down her story arc. I do need to really level up the other characters. I know Zevran, thanks to the Antivan boots that we found. Going to... One second. Take a chance to some time to level them up. Ah, yes, the duelist is now unlocked. Excellent. Give him some dexterity. Ooh. Well, he's already got max level on these, so I may as well start to work on survival. Lacerate. I also get another one. Evasion. Perfect. Then we'll start to work on him down here in a bit, and then up here. Play. Did I miss something? Oh, I can level him up a bit more. Let's... There we go. Going to collapse if we head up here. I don't know. Where's the way out? Herlock corpse over that way. Oh, that's the way out. It was strange. I could use that a bit. I don't know why I unlocked that I was able to use that ability. I think there might have been a glitch. But I could have sworn that we had already unlocked it. Anyways, let's keep heading off to Redcliffe Castle. Got truly the most epic of character. And look, the guards are back outside. That's good. That's good. I have great news, Pantegan.
You return. Might you have news?
You calling Eamon's knights back?
Yes, but they are returning slowly. No doubt the war's progress, as well as the Darkspawns, hinders many of them.
What's his condition?
Unchanged, I'm afraid. We've tried more magical healing, but nothing works. As time passes, I become more and more convinced the urn might be our only hope.
Good news, I found it.
You have? Wonderful. Let us go at once to Eamon's side and see if the urn's healing powers live up to their reputation.
Let us do that indeed.
Where am I?
You're alive.
Be calm, brother. You have been deathly ill for a very long time. Do you remember nothing?
Tegan? What are you doing here? Where is Isolde?
I am here, my husband.
And Connor? Where is my boy? Where is our son?
He lives, though many others are dead. There is much to tell you, husband.
Dead? Then it was not a dream.
Much has happened since you fell ill, brother. Some of it will not be easy for you to hear.
Then tell me. I wish to hear all of it.
Such a tough man he is, listening to all the pleas that has happened.
This is most troubling. There is much to be done, that is true. But I should first be thankful to those who have done so much. Grey Warden, you have not only saved my life, but kept my family safe as well. I am in your debt. Will you permit me to offer you a reward for your service?
I need help against the Blight.
I understand, but regardless of your motivations, I feel you are worthy of a reward. I would like to honor your efforts. Nothing more.
As you wish, then.
Then allow me to declare you and those traveling with you champions of Redcliffe. You will always be a welcome guest within these halls. And for you, Warden, a shield of the same make as those that have been given to our finest knights.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We should speak of Loghain, brother. There is no telling what he will do once he learns of your recovery.
Loghain instigates a civil war even though the Darkspawn are on our very doorstep. Long I have known him. He is a sensible man, one who never desired power.
I was there when he announced he was taking control of the throne, Eamon. He is mad with ambition, I tell you.
Mad indeed. Mad enough to kill Kaelin, to attempt to kill myself and destroy my lands. Whatever happened to him, Loghain must be stopped. What's more, we can scarce afford to fight this war to its bitter end.
You can unite the nobility against Loghain, can't you?
I could unite those opposing Loghain, yes. But not all oppose him. He has some very powerful allies. We have no time to wage a campaign against him. Someone must surrender if Ferelden is to have any chance at fighting the Darkspawn.
It's amazing to the Darkspawn is such a main part of this game, main part of the story here, and yet we don't spend that much time fighting them. Really, we're going up against everyone else. It's actually kind of astounding. But once everyone learns of what he has done...
I will spread word of Logain's treachery, both here and against the king. But it will be but a claim made without proof. Those claims will give Logain's allies pause. But we must combine it with a challenge Logain cannot ignore. We need someone with a stronger claim to the throne than Logain's daughter, the Queen.
Uh-oh.
Are you referring to Alistair, brother? Are you certain?
I would not propose such a thing if we had an alternative, but the unthinkable has occurred.
You intend to put Alistair forward as king?
Tegan and I have a claim through marriage, but we would seem opportunists no better than Logain. Alistair's claim is by blood.
And what about me? Does anyone care what I want?
You have a responsibility, Alistair. Without you, Logain wins. I would have to support him for the sake of Ferelden. Is that what you want?
But I... No, my lord.
I see only one way to proceed. I will call for a landsmeet, a gathering of all of Ferelden's nobility in the city of Denerim. There, Ferelden can decide who shall rule, one way or another. Then the business of fighting our true foe can begin. What say you to that, my friend? I do not wish to proceed without your blessing.
Why do you need my blessing?
None of this would be possible without you. You led Alistair here. You saved my life with the urn of sacred ashes. It's your lead I follow. I am a credible enough figure in this nation to call the landsmeet, but I hold no illusions that I could face Logain without you. Surely you see that.
I say we will proceed with your plan.
Very well. I will send out the word. But before we proceed, I believe there is the matter of the mage, my son's tutor. He still lives, I understand.
He does. He is in the dungeon, brother.
Have him brought here, Tegan. I wish to see him. Jowan, what you have done is not in question. You tried to assassinate me and set into motion a series of events that nearly destroyed everything I cherish. What have you to say in your own defense?
Nothing, my lord. Other than to say I am sorry. I expect no mercy for what I've done.
I see. Grey Warden, have you anything to say on Jowan's behalf?
He cooperated willingly, though he had little choice.
You damn him with faint praise, I see. Then there is nothing more to say. Jowan, I hereby sentence you to death. May the Maker show you the mercy we cannot.
Thank you, my lord.
I do wonder if it's actually possible to save
back
him.
To the matter of the landsmeet. It will take some time to recall my forces and organize our allies. I would prefer to wait until that is done before calling the landsmeet. In the meantime, I suggest you pursue the remainder of the Grey Warden treaties. We will need all the allies we can get if we are to defeat the Darkspawn Horde.
3. Gather the army. And that's how we unlock the specialization of champion, by the way. Oh, and we also got ourselves a level up. Very nice. What did we level up with? Ooh, I got a new skill. I really need this, though. Yeah, I cannot ignore that any longer. That I really needed. We also got the Redcliffe Elite Shield. Is it better than... Oh yeah, that is definitely better than the Shield of High Ever. 100% better than that. Forgot we were still wielding that. Anyways, thank you, Carl Lehman. It's nice to see that everybody's back together. Anything else that we can borrow in the meantime? No. So, now that we've finished with this here, hey, Sir Perth, how are you?
The Earl's recovery is a boon to the nation. We all owe you a great debt.
Now there's the matter of gathering the army, which I think is still part of the main quest. Gather the army. Has been revived and plans to call landsmeet. In the meantime, you must gather the allies using. And we only have one final one left, although we've done all this. And we are ready to leave for Denerim. We can't do this until after we finish this. Unfortunately for people. Although maybe we might. I'm not going to try it out, but we do really want the dwarves in battle. And there's a couple other things we can get over there. So, Caravan down, Brothers of Silence, Aegis Collective, Justice Must Be Served. In, like, Harvish, he's in Justify Bribe. Oceans of Evidence. Okay, that's fine then. Going to Redcliffe Village. Anyways, we're going to quickly head back to camp. And I got to make a pause in this, so this episode's going to look a little bit weird. Oh, nice to see all the recruits are now training.
That's the way. Now guard yourself.
I gotta head off. I gotta go quickly do a couple things around the house before we go ahead and move into. We're not going on to the Dwarf Kingdom yet, but we are. Oh, and as you can see, the blight has really spread now. It's actually spread up to around Hoblin, and it's also kind of getting a little close to Redcliffe Village, but it's still okay. We're still okay for the time being. No, wait, we did that one. Let's head back to our camp. I don't know if this happens now or if it happens... No, it does not happen now. Okay, that's good. Anyways, is Alistair willing to talk at all?
Something on your mind?
I have questions.
Of course. Such as they are.
You talk again?
Just left? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
I know, I wasn't suggesting that. I was suggesting it to go find other Grey Wardens, of course.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Something on your mind?
I have questions.
Of course. Such as they are.
I have no more questions.
Something on your mind?
We're done. Okay, never mind. I can't actually ask him any questions. Pretty sure we have indeed passed the loyalty check. So there's the lieutenant for my supplies. We'll turn in coins. Oh, they will leave 2 sovereigns for now. Turn in runes for the circle. We have all unassigned novice, and we'll also do all unassigned journeyman as well. Turn in runes for the circle, journeyman. Craft materials for Dalish. We'll give them all the deep mushroom. Gonna help a little bit out for all of our allies.
Generous as always, Warden.
Thank you. Lost 2 sovereigns, which is going to be a bit... Oh, wow, we actually do have 30. Wait, do I have anything else I'd like to get rid of? We can get rid of some of the other bombs.
Your friends are formidable folk.
Thank you.
I'm sure.
Alright, others. Let's see here. So, keep. Sell that. Go. Alright. So, I gotta quickly go and do a couple things around the house, but soon, well, there's gonna be a bit of a pause inserted in here. Once I return, hopefully I'll remember to do this, but we're going to aim to do a little bit of gift giving, a bit of character development. I would like to try and unlock some loyalty tests, that sort of stuff. So, I will be right back in one moment, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I have returned. More of a benchmark for me, but I had lunch as well while I was up. Nothing too special, just a couple of, something from the fridge, that's all. Was debating on going out today, but it's kind of raining. It's not looking too nice outside. So I opted to save that for maybe tomorrow. There. Let's see here. What would I like to go? Where would I like to go first? Well.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. I completely forgot what I was doing. I remember what I was supposed to do, and a good thing I caught myself. Alright. Let's go ahead and start gifting things out to other people. And let's see here. Alright. Zevran, where are you? Have some Antivan leather boots for you.
That smell. This is Antivan leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you found it, but thank you.
You're welcome. You're quite
Now,
welcome.
if only you could find me a prostitute or two. A bowl of fish chowder and a corrupt politician. I'd really feel like I was home. And they fit as well. Marvelous.
That's great. Moderate. Dexterity. Let's see if that will trigger the loyalty check. Each others to be an assassin.
I suppose the crows are already furious, yes? What harm is another tweak to their nose? If you wish to be trained in the basics of an assassin, I can certainly show you. Or anyone else who is also a rogue. It shall be fun. I will make it fun. I promise.
Hey! There we go. Care to answer some questions?
Right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
Okay. Tell me about on your adventures.
My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days?
Certainly look like you've had adventures.
Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling. Well,
Meddling in politics. The crows were willing to anger the circle of magi?
in Antiva, nobody is too important to escape the reach of the Crows. They've killed kings and queens. That is simply how it is. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
And she didn't try to kill you?
Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly.
Were you upset?
At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellan instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around.
What a happy accident. Except for the mage, of course.
I suppose, but she was dead. She didn't need to be happy. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see.
So you, a wise lesson to learn.
And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days.
Let me get the loyalty
What is your
check.
desire?
Care to answer some questions?
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so.
How about more adventures?
Again? Well now, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once.
That sounds fun.
Haha, you have rather macabre tastes, I see. I like that. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Azrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts?
You killed a prince?
Me? Not personally, but I did take part in the attack. Prince Azrin was fourth in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocell from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Azrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells.
Oh, is that sort of thing common in Antiva?
Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part.
What did you do?
My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in the river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history.
You got robbed by urchins?
I had to find my way back to the safe house, bruised and naked, and thankful to be alive. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh?
Oh, I quite like listening to these.
What is your desire?
More questions.
All right, but, well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But, no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything.
Ah, what's the problem?
Nothing that I would prefer to speak of. Perhaps another day, I'm sorry.
You haven't got his loyalty up high enough yet. I think that's the threshold to make sure he has a high loyalty check. Personal?
Again? I'm game.
Never mind. Never mind. We are not pursuing that any further. Alright, now to get your loyalty check going.
Something I can help with?
Why don't we go with this?
What is meant by someone like me?
Now, I don't actually know how to trigger this normally without romancing. So, we'll just go with a little bit of it.
And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister. All of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique. Because then, they were forbidden. And forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no?
So, can we go back to Lothering now? Again, I don't know how to keep this on good except from a little bit of romancing. So, again, we're not romancing anyone in this playthrough, but just to kind of keep it along, like what I know, we're gonna have to go with the number 2.
Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps I am not as enigmatic. The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the Chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
Ah, I see. What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Right, there we go.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
That is comforting.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. one that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
You know, I actually forgot that that's about what happened. Oh. More codex on her.
The stars are out.
Okay, Didn't I?
It comforts me to know that the stars will remain untouched by the blight. That whatever happens down here, they will shine eternally, their light undimmed. There is a story about that cluster of stars over there. Do you know it? Elindra and her soldier?
I personally kind of remember it. However, not really enough to tell it in detail. Here, Lelianna, you tell it.
A long time ago, there lived a fair maiden called Elindra. She had many suitors, but spurned them all, for she did not love them. One day, Elindra was sitting by her window in her father's castle, singing and dreaming, when her lovely voice caught the attention of a young soldier. Entranced by her song, the soldier drew near to Elindra's window. As their eyes met, he fell in love with her, and she with him. When Elindra told her father about the man she had chosen, he was furious, for Elindra was high-born, but her love nothing more than a common soldier. To keep them apart, he had Elindra imprisoned in the highest tower of his castle, and sent her soldier to the wars. Alas, not a month had passed before news of the soldier's death reached Elindra. Alone in her tower, Elindra wept for her love, and beseeched the gods to deliver her from this cruel world. So earnest was her plea that the gods themselves were moved. They gathered Elindra into their arms and lifted her high into the heavens, where she became a star. The gods also raised up the soul of Elindra's soldier love, and there he dwells, across the horizon from her. The band of stars between them is a river of Elindra's tears, cried for her lost love. They say that when Elindra has cried enough, she will be able to cross the river to be reunited with her soldier.
That is a sappy story. But I won't tell her that. Say that's a beautiful story.
This story is one of my favorites. A tale of a love so great and so enduring that it defies death and moves the gods to action. Sometimes I ask myself, does such a love exist? Can it exist?
If we lose hope and love, then we are truly lost, I guess.
I never expected you to say that. It is a pleasant surprise.
It's a surprise.
I have to say there is a certain severity to you. Finding a person behind that all is nice. Maybe you should let your softer side show more often. Sometimes following your heart, not your head, leads you to remarkable places.
Sometimes it can also get you killed. Come on, I need that loyalty check.
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen.
Yes, and you were there. Quite remarkable, yes.
I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her.
Not for everyone. She belongs to everyone.
Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of.
Good.
Looking for little old me?
I'd like to talk to you about something.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I'm trying to get your loyalty check. Why did you come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated, and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais, and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
Was Cecily really young? It's understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
That, by the way, is one of the 2 gifts you can gift to her. And she will, well, the first one you gift her is, it plays a little cutscene that I think we had seen earlier. I picked after the Brazilian forest, I think Brazilian. You find one there, and you can also find one in Redcliffe. I already found did I gift the one to her in Redcliffe? Yeah, I did. Okay. I did. Pocket. Eek. Cameo. I don't remember who that one goes to. Or some of these for that matter. Want to get that loyalty check.
For little old me?
Yes.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Go with the number 1.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
So, you dreamed of the Blight?
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
This made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell, Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
Suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
I agree.
Looking for little old me?
Yes, I want that bloody loyalty check mission.
Yes? What's on your mind?
My goodness, this is a long time. Miss anything about LA?
Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Valroyaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Valroyaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
Must have been a big change to moving to Lothering.
I left behind much, leaving Orlais. But there is more to life than dresses and furs. It is sad that many have lost sight of this. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes! Living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Those, yeah, I'm not sure what to say here. What's so special about the shoes?
Well, they're shoes. They're pretty. Some of them anyway. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
I don't really know enough about shoes to really comment. Wouldn't that be hard to walk in?
I wouldn't want to run in it, or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room? Perfect. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
Now, if you want a romance, you hit number 1. I'm just gonna say they're comfortable.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
I don't know if we've seen that one yet, but there's a gift, I think, for some fine shoes that you can give to Lelianna.
Looking for little old me?
Yes.
Yeah?
Hurry up with the bloody history lesson, please. Let's go with number 2.
Where did you hear this?
Someone told me this a long time ago.
And you believe everything you hear? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are spy. What's the difference?
Many use the two words minstrel and bard interchangeably, but to do so in Orlais would cause misunderstanding. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
Do they spy on Ferelden?
Some do. Mostly it is nobles spying on other nobles. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
Actually, a bit of a fun fact. In Dragon Age Inquisition, a lot of what she said, a lot of what Lily about Valroyaux about the game that she's talking about. We will actually get to experience that in there. It's our chance to have our hand at playing the game. Of course, there's a bunch of different endings to it. I've only ever really gotten to that point once, I think. I don't know, most playthroughs that I end up having of Inquisition, I get through the first few areas, and then I stop right around that point. But, anyways, you were a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems. But it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
That's where you learned to fight like that.
My skills served me well. But the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Oh, we're finally getting a bit closer. Finally getting just a bit closer. Sorry, I couldn't tell for a second. I thought maybe the fan on my computer was causing some noise.
Looking for little old me?
Oh, here we go. Let's ask this one.
There's an idea. I've watched you, and I do think you'd find some of my skills quite easy to pick up. Let's just go over there, away from the others. For safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
You're going to have to get her favor up a bit, just like any other character. But yeah, you could have her train you to become a bard.
Looking for little old me?
Yes, we're almost there, I think.
What's on your mind?
There. Oh, not quite. Traveling minstrel. Any tales to
I
tell?
do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
Flemeth? Morgan's mom was called. I met Flemeth in the Kakari Wild. Let's say number 2.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists?
Didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Tell me the whole story.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
What happened there?
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Alright, so if you actually go and talk to Morgan about that, and I think we have, she gives a bit of a different tale. And I kind of want to believe, I would believe Morgan's a little more because, well, I don't want to get into that, but if I want to get into that, it might be a little, let's just say that it is, no, I shouldn't, but she is definitely the Flemeth of the legends. Though, not entire, it's a little bit of half truth, half lie. I shouldn't say any more because Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition is going to reveal more about that. But anyways, tell me about the Darkspawn.
Chantry lore says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Alright, how about... We already heard the third one, so we'll just go through, skate through this one.
They say that when Elindra has cried enough...
Like to hear another tale?
It is my job to spin yarns after all.
Let's go with number 2.
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Olay.
Sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
You please?
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Go on.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
That's how you do politics right in a video game. Don't shove it among people, you just add it in. Also a nice lore explanation, too, as to why there are female combatants. Anyways, let's go ahead and hear another story.
Which one?
You know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard when Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own.
I'm pretty sure we actually met the ghost of him. If I recall correct, I never really pay attention to the ghosts there. I just remember, hey, there are 8 ghosts. It's a riddle puzzle. Go ahead and solve. Instead of, hey, these characters actually are getting told in stories. Anyways, it never lasted.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
I'm pretty sure you also get a little bit of tidbit lore in Inquisition as well, regarding that specific of who started... I think it was who started the war between the elves and the Dales and the Chantry. Started that, and I think a couple other points. I'm not going to reveal what, because some of it, if I say, yeah, we get more information on it, it might end up spoiling, like, leading to potential spoilers, but let's just say that quite a bit of elven history is actually revealed through a point in Inquisition, which we are going to be getting to at some point. But anyways, what do you know about Andraste? Blood of Andraste! Ha! I am Dragon Lord. Yes, I am. I rule over these lands as Riva. No, I'm kidding. Tell me about Andraste. Not the risen one that we saw, though.
And welcome back. You have made it to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed, maybe share this video to anybody who you think will enjoy my content, and also don't forget to check out some of my other stuff. I'm not only doing this game, but I also have done a ton of other games. Well, a ton, I'm not sure how many games I've done at this point, but anyways, here's a small little bit of collection of games that I've done. And if you look on screen, it should take you to either another video or a playlist. Maybe you'll enjoy that. Perhaps you might not. I don't know. We will find out. Hope you all enjoyed, and until next one, take it easy.